Hello, this is Tara Livingston, and this is Stroke of Genius, a memoir. Today, I want to talk about something different for the kinds of videos that I usually put on my channel. But it's very important, I think, to have a good idea about who I am to the videos that I've already been giving. Have you heard about this word deconstruction? You can't get anywhere on YouTube or podcasts or even the news talking about people who are leaving their faith traditions and trying to find a new way to express themselves now that they are leaving the theology and doctrine of their faith. The statistics show that even people who are faithful believers have declined between 1985 to 2019 as far as to Canada statistics. And it's really sharp to see the decline. Um, about me, I was a cradle Anglican or Episcopalian, and I was a good church girl in the 70s. I went to church school in the 80s. I was in youth group, mostly to meet boys. And but I was in the choir. I loved being a part of the choir, and it's so powerful to have your voices go meld into other voices. It's the most beautiful experience. I was the one that people would say in high school, they would say, "Oh, something is happening. Would you pray for me?" And I would say, "Yes, I would." And I never talk about my faith. I didn't introduce people to my church, but people knew that I was a faithful person and that who I had a contact with God, that I had a relationship with the divine. I got back a little bit in my 20s. I was busy doing doing very fun things in my 20s. But of course, when I had children, my need to be part of my faith was back. This allowed me to go onto the path of being called to ordination. So that was about the 5 year university. I took 2 years of adult studies at McMaster University in Hamilton, and then I was chose to go into the Master's Divinity program at Trinity College and University of Toronto. It was a 3 years master's program. It took me 4 years. I had toddlers to do at the same time. I was ordained just over a year after my graduation, and I became an Anglican priest in Calgary. So that is where and I, it's important to talk, I think, about what church belief was for me. I always wanted church family to be welcoming and questioning and accepting, and the inclusiveness of Jesus Christ and the gospel was the thing that I thought was worth practicing in my life. I loved being a public speaker, and I was a storyteller and inspirational speaker at the same time. And I wanted people to feel connected with the God that loves me. I didn't have an idea about hell. I didn't have vindictive God, judgment God. That was not the vision that I had. But for me, I had a loving God, And I wanted people to have the comfort of having that relationship with God. I could cite many examples of that broke my heart. I will give you a little high view of that. I would make a joke that the pews of my church were filled with ex Baptists and ex Roman Catholics. And I think it was because the Anglican Church kind of advertised itself as not needing to have followed the doctrine and theology of hell and being vindictive and very controlling, which in my idea was good. This was fantastic. I was very happy. The people that gave me the responses for the Baptist and evangelical churches or the Roman Catholic churches came with a lot of guilt. And I would joke that as an Anglican, we didn't do sin. No, we do sin. We just don't do any guilt. So anyway, doctrine and the theology of the diocese. So the diocese is a geographical area presided over by a bishop. I was in a very conservative area of Canada, but I was education and my background was pretty liberal. So I was always going against the tide. A number of my clergy, they didn't believe in women's ordination. Some peoples in my parish don't believe that women clergy, and I'd say there's nothing to believe in. I'm right here. So I was swimming upstream in different things. The biggest example that got lots of press was the belief in having same-sex marriage. My theology has been, even from a child, I'm like, if two people fell in love and got that lucky to be able to find a beautiful partner that they want to spend their life with, this is something that God would bless. No question. It made sense to me that, of course, the church that I believed in, that I had give my life to, of course, they were going to do this because Jesus would have done this too. Clearly, I may have started a little fight or two based on this conversation with some other clergy friends. It was very difficult in this diocese. So most of the dioceses in Canada had gone forward, and the bishops had said, "Okay, we can start doing same-sex weddings in the Anglican churches, not where I am." The bishop said, even though the question was asked on our synod, which is the big gathering that comes every 2 years, and there was a vote, and it passed by 69%, which was a lot, to say yes, we want to have same-sex blessings. We're still having the question of just the blessing, not even the marriage. But when he said, "I'll pray about it," and that was in 2017, and he's still praying because he wouldn't do it, wouldn't give his affirmation. So knowing that I was swimming up the stream in the as being a liberal in a conservative area, being a proponent of same-sex blessings and marriage in an area that they didn't want this to happen, and being a woman in a very patriarchal conservative area, I was very tired. I was very tired. Everything felt like a fight. Now, I want to be clear that I say I'm having an argument with the institution of church, the institution of religion, but God and I are fine. And the reason that I can say this is that I didn't have any background of knowing, believing in the truth claims of divinity of Jesus. I'm like, it doesn't matter to me. I think that if Jesus was just a man who was a prophet and who had some things to talk about, wisdom to share, I'd be okay with this. I certainly didn't believe in the that there was actually God made in 7 days. I never had that. So maybe it was easier for me to just say, God and I are good, because God didn't need to, I don't need to have a trinity of God the Spirit and God the Son and God the Father. I didn't have to have that theology. But I was able to, I acknowledge language that I spoke was Christian. The dialect was Anglican. And the words are comfortable to me. I know them. I know the comfort of the prayers, the of course all the Bible studies and that I've done and the education of my master's divinity. There's such wisdom within the Bible that has now been disseminated into within the world, that it's just become part of the way that we think. And I love that. I can give you lots of verses to calm your heart, or to give you inspiration, or to give you hope when you're feeling hopeless. I can do all of this. But the church that I believed in, that I gave my life to, wasn't what it was advertised. I had a number of conversations with one particular congregation about the fact that they advertise themselves as everyone is welcome. No, that's not true. Because your actions say that you're not actually being very welcoming to people. Because if you come to church and you're not appropriate dressed, then you get that little look from some of the old ladies. That's not welcoming. That is not welcoming. In fact, what about the beautiful LGBTQ people who are part of the community, who putting money in the plate? They sit on the boards. They give the cup of the wine. They're doing all the volunteering. And yet you can't give them full sacraments? That's not welcoming. I'm just going to give you, sorry, I'm reminding myself that I wanted to give you a high level experience of my deconstruction of Christianity, and to give you some of my wisdom. I will give you some more. I'm interested if any of the examples that I've been sharing are more better for you, and I will get bigger explanations about that. I will put some pictures in my get up of my ordination pictures and things like that to share with you. And yes, give good thoughts. I hope that your life as being a blessing in whatever word you how believes for you. And I'm very grateful, and I look forward to talking to you again. Bye.